Hour 80 of Hell Week. No real sleep in 3 days. A man near the back of the line starts up a cargo net, his body already running on fumes. His legs aren't done. His lungs aren't done. Somewhere around the third pull, his hands are, fingers curling tighter just to hold what they held easily an hour ago. That's not a strength problem, it's a grip problem, and almost nobody trains it on purpose. Special operations training treats grip differently than a normal gym does not, as an accessory tacked onto the end of a workout, but as the first system that fails under real load, the thing that decides whether the rest of your strength gets used at all. Here's why it goes first, and here's the system built around fixing it. Grip fails first for a simple reason. The muscles that close your hand aren't even in your hand, they're in your forearm. Long tendons running through the wrist like cable through a conduit. Small muscle, long lever, constant tension. Your back and legs can trade off load, rep to rep. Your forearm flexors stay switched on the whole time you're hanging, carrying, or pulling. No rest between reps, no relief. That matters because the real demand doesn't wait for you to recover. Carrying a wounded teammate, climbing a rope, holding a rail in rough water, controlling a weapon for hours, all of it comes down to one question. Do your hands still work after everything else wants to quit? Most gym training never asks that question. A gripper builds one narrow squeeze performed fresh with nothing else competing for your attention. Grip actually fails at the end of a set, at the end of a carry, at the end of a long day, when your hands are the last thing on your mind and the first thing to give out. Grip isn't one skill, it's several, and most men only ever train one of them. Exercise 1, the dead hang. The first quality is the simplest. Can your hand just hold on? Picture hanging from a rope, a ledge, the underside of a vehicle, a fast rope line with nothing below you. No technique saves you there. Either your hands hold your body weight or they don't. That's exactly what the dead hang tests. Grab a pull-up bar with a full closed grip, thumbs wrapped, not draped over the top, arms straight, shoulders pulled down and back away from your ears. Just hang. No swinging, no kipping, no shifting your weight to find an easier angle. This is support grip in its rawest form. No pulling, no crushing, just holding your own body weight against gravity for as long as your hands allow. Your shoulders and lats share part of the load, but your grip is the one piece with nowhere to hide it. Either closes around the bar or it doesn't. Most men assume this is easy. Most men are wrong. The average untrained grip opens inside 20 seconds. Guys who can bench 2 plates and squat heavy still can't hold their own body weight from a bar for a full minute because nothing in a normal gym routine ever asks their hands to work that long without help. The failure point is obvious. Once you feel it, your fingers start to uncurl, your palms start to slide, and the bar turns from something you're holding into something you're losing. The moment that slide starts, the set is over. Don't fight it into a sloppy half grip that teaches your hand the wrong lesson. Start with 2 hand hangs working towards 60 seconds clean. Once that's easy, shift the load. One hand bearing most of your weight, the other lightly assisting on a towel loop. That's the next threshold, and it's a different animal entirely. The dead hang covers grip standing still, fresh under a load that never changes. It doesn't cover grip, moving fatigued with the rest of your body, working at the same time. That's a different demand entirely, and it's what the farmer's carry is built for. Exercise 2, the farmer's carry. If you only ever do one of these 4, this is the one closest to the actual job. Special operations work rarely asks for grip in isolation. It asks you to move loaded gear, ammo, equipment, a teammate's kit across distance, while your legs and lungs are already working and your hands are the last thing you have spare attention for. That's the second quality. Grip that holds up under systemic fatigue, not just local fatigue in the forearm. The dead hang tests your hand. The farmer's carry tests your hand while everything else is already taxed. It shows up in loaded rucks, casualty drags, ammo runs, anywhere strength has to survive being carried somewhere, not just lifted once and put back down. Pick up something heavy in each hand, kettlebells, dumbbells, loaded duffel bags, water jugs, whatever's dense and awkward enough to fight you. Stand tall, shoulders back and down, ribs stacked over your hips. Walk with control. Most guys train grip in a straight line, a controlled rep, a fixed bar path, maybe a set of wrist straps once the weight gets heavy enough to slip. The farmer's carry removes every shortcut, no straps, and the weight doesn't get lighter because you're tired on yard 30. The mechanism is simple. Your traps, your spine, your core, and your grip all firing together to resist a load trying to drag you forward and down. Here's the failure point. The moment your shoulders creep up toward your ears, your grip is already losing the fight and the weight starts dragging you instead of you carrying it. That's your body compensating for a hand that's already given up. Start with a distance you can complete with clean posture the entire way. 40 yards is a fair target at a load that challenges you by the last 10 steps. Once that's clean, add weight or add distance. Never both in the same week. The carry covers grip under full body, real-world load. It still assumes your hand has something solid to close around a handle, a bar, an edge. Most of what you'll actually need to grip in the real world doesn't offer that. Exercise 3, the towel hang. A pull-up bar, a dumbbell handle. Both give your fingers something round, fixed, and easy to hook around. Real grip demands are rarely that generous. A rope under load, a wet rail, a strap, a piece of another man's gear, none of it offers your hand a clean place to lock in. That's the third quality, and it's what the towel hang trains. Drape a towel over the bar, ends even on both sides. Grip one end in each hand and hang exactly the way you did in exercise 1. Take the bar away from your fingers and the math changes completely. A towel gives them nothing to hook, just fabric compressing in your palm, sliding a little with every shift of your body weight. Most grip training happens on equipment built to be easy to hold: knurled bars, rubber handles, machines designed to keep the weight from slipping. The towel hang strips that comfort away on purpose, because nothing in the real world is built for your convenience. Fast roping down a line punishes grip the same way friction sliding through the hands under body weight, with zero margin for a hand that opens too soon. The failure point shows up earlier here, and it's specific the moment the towel starts rolling out of your palm instead of staying locked in your fist. Your forearms are losing before your back ever gets the chance to work. You'll feel it well before you'd feel it on a bar. Start with towel hangs alone, building toward 30 clean seconds. Once that's solid, move to towel rows, a controlled pull against an anchored towel before you ever attempt a full towel pull-up. That last step only belongs to men who already own strict pull-ups with a normal grip. Hanging, carrying, gripping a towel, all of it still lets you close your whole hand around something. There's one grip type left that takes even that away. Exercise 4, the plate pinch. The fourth quality is the one almost nobody trains, and it's the one that exposes a man fastest, no matter how strong the rest of his grip looks. Take 2 weight plates, smooth sides facing out, and pinch them together with one hand thumb on one side, fingers on the other, nothing to wrap around for help. Hold for time, switch hands. Crush strength and pinch strength aren't the same muscle pattern. A handshake, a gripper, a dead hang, all use your fingers closing around something with real leverage. Pinch strength runs through your thumb alone against 4 fingers, with none of that advantage, which is why it's the first grip type to fail in men who've never trained it directly, including guys who can hang for a minute and carry for 40 yards without blinking. The failure point is immediate. The moment your thumb can't hold the seam shut, the plates separate and drop. No slow leak like a hang, it just lets go. Start with light plates, 10 seconds aside. Build past 30 seconds clean before you add weight, and add it in small jumps. This is the exercise with the least room for ego. Hold on, carry under load, adapt to whatever the hand's actually given, resist losing it from the smallest point of contact. 4 qualities, 4 exercises. That's the whole picture of what your hands are actually asked to do. Run all 4 2 to 3 times a week. For the dead hang, 2 to 3 holds towards 60 seconds, full 2-hand grip. For the farmer's carry, 3 to 4 trips at a distance that challenges you by the final steps. For the towel hang, 2 to 3 holds toward 30 seconds. Same setup as the dead hang. For the plate pinch, 2 to 3 holds per hand toward 30 seconds. Light plates until the duration is solid. A simple split works well. Dead hang and towel work on one day, farmer's carry and plate pinch on another. That pairs the static holds with the loaded dynamic work, instead of stacking the same demand twice in one session. If grip work shares a day with anything else pulling, deadlifting, rows do it last. Pre-fatigue your grip before a heavy pull, and you're not testing your back anymore. You're testing how early your hands give out. Grip work earns the end of the session, not the start of it. The whole circuit runs 15 to 20 minutes. Forearm muscle is smaller than what you're used to training, and it recovers faster too. That's why this can sit on top of whatever else you're already doing without burying you in soreness. Still follow the same rule every exercise here already taught you. Extend time before you add load, and add load before you add complexity. A couple minutes of light wrist circles before you start keeps the tendons happy as the loads climb. Give it 3 to 4 weeks before you judge the results. Grip strength moves fast compared to most muscle groups, but it's also easy to read too much into a single good or bad session. Track your numbers, hang time, Carry distance, pinch duration, and let the trend across weeks tell you the truth, not any one workout. Go back to that cargo net in the fog. The man who fell didn't lack strength. He lacked the one piece of strength nobody bothered to train. 4 exercises: a bar, a towel, 2 plates, and whatever's heavy enough to carry. Nothing exotic, nothing expensive. It was never about forearm size. It was never about a gripper in a drawer. It was about whether your hands still work when everything else is exhausted. That's the only time grip is ever actually tested.